What up, what up, what up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Young SMOOVE. That's me. Let's go. Yo, I'm coming at you with some of the hottest, dopest interviews from my city, your city. You already know what it is. And not to mention the fact, I got my R&B only that I'm coming back to on TikTok. So we jam out to the hottest R&B. Keep in mind, we're going to chop it up, hear about the latest and greatest in hip-hop and more with my good friends and good times. And if you ain't watching, what's wrong with you, bitch? Either way, push the damn button and let's start the show. Yeah, let's go. What up, what up, what up, y'all? Y'all already know who it is. It's your boy Young SMOOVE. That's me. So coming back at you with another interview series with one of the illest niggas in the game. You understand what I'm saying? See, one of the ones that has done it bigger than big. You know what I'm saying? Done the thing, done the dance, do the thing. You know what I mean? You did. But my man, the myth, the legend, G Hood is here with me. A entrepreneur, a trailblazer, a architect of this music, and one of the greatest and one of my great friends as well. G Hood, say what's up to my people.
What's going on, family? And god damn, boy, you introduced me like I'm somebody. I feel good on this platform. How you
I
feeling,
try.
Troy?
I'm good. I try to introduce the people like they have some things going on, whether they do or they don't. Most of the time, usually people do. That's why they're here. That is why they are here. So starting back from the beginning, like we said before, Hood, you were born in Baltimore, some of the roughest, toughest neighborhoods. What about that environment has shaped and molded your voice, your sound, and your music?
Oh man, just thinking about it. Growing up in Northeast Baltimore, Zone 39, that old Alameda area was crazy. You grow up with your friends and comrades from middle school. So in that mindset at that age, you guys lock in and you engage in activity that you probably shouldn't. But everything that I do, everything that I've done, all the people that I've met, all the ordeals I had, whether they were good or bad, everything has molded my catalog lyrically. Everything has been either the push, the ammunition, or the basis for my writing. I always try to give life. I always try to give a lot of my life, but things that are relatable to those that are around me and those that might be going through what I'm going through. um, but it's gave me an ability to reach a niche audience. We got people who aren't so vulnerable in the world and don't speak on the things that they witness each day or the things that are bothering them mentally or inhibit them socially. Um, these kind of deterrents, I don't mind being vocal about. I don't mind being transparent about. I don't mind bringing light to them because it's things that I feel, it's things that I go through, and I'm sure other people go through them. So, like, I would say that growing up in that jungle, it kind of was the greatest influencer for me in my writings,
Right.
honestly.
Right. I can understand that. I can definitely see where that comes. I think that this city has a tendency to either make or break you. I think that the city has a tendency to be gritty and unkind when it wants to be, but loving and a moment when it needs to be. You know what I'm saying? Because you can ride
Hmm.
around anywhere and just be like, "Oh, this still my city." You know what I'm saying? Like, and even with the changes, because there are so many multiple changes being made,
Yeah.
I think that's what I want people to get from Baltimore. Also, want them to understand. Again, as I've said several times, no, it is not the wire. I
Hmm.
just want y'all to understand it's not the wire. You are seeing Baltimore people on this program that are telling you it is not the wire. Do not ask us if we go to your cities and we come there and be like, "Where you from?" And they be like, "Ooh, Baltimore." And you be like, "Is it like the wire?" No, it's not like the wire. It is not. It is not. So it bothers me. It bothers my soul. So you mentioned that you've been inspired by the greats like my favorites, of course, DMX, 50 Cent, NWA. What specifically about the music and their stories made you say, I want to do this?
I was living it. Um, 50, 50 Cent, his first album that he had dropped, because I was listening to him early in his career when he was with Columbia. Like,
You doing a how to rob.
yeah, like I was into the power of the dollar.
Mm-hmm.
And when you live in that way, and it's crazy, things intersect. I could talk about the past because the past is the past. When I was outside, some of my constituents that I engaged, and they were mutual constituents of people that were already famous, and they were doing the same things with people that were already famous. So I got with people that was coming down from, say, Queens, Hollis, Queens, New York, to meet up with my guys, and just come to find out that this is the same guy that deals with these guys. So I'm watching Ja Rule, I'm watching 50 Cent,
Right.
and it's like, damn, at the end of the day, we got the same plug. So it's like I'm listening to their music, and I know exactly who they talking about, what they talking about, because I'm down here in Baltimore. I'm in the mix. I'm young, but I'm in the mix. And this shit hit home for me. I started listening to him. I started doing backstories on DMX when DMX came out. Like, I used to try to do a lot of bios and read up on where he came from. But to find out that he lived here, he walked these same streets, to know
Mm-hmm.
what the integrity of his music has been from day one. Like,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people fell in love with Stop Drop. Like, shut them down, open up shop. That was their buy-in to DMX. I bought
Right.
into DMX when he dropped Slippin',
Yeah.
because at that moment in life, that's what I was dealing with. So
So yeah.
relatability.
Yeah. So I agree because I always get into this bag about X because I'm a huge X fan. Like I've loved X for forever. I think for me, because equally that story with X is exactly the same. Like I love the fact that he was here for a while. His
Yeah.
story was so magnetizing and magnetic. But
Hmm.
my main thing that I don't know why I gravitated to, but I just it made me be like, damn, I hold you tight. Is the story with him and his mother like
Yes.
that part threw me and that was what I knew and learned and that was the Earl that I loved and I said this in another interview too but like wildest shit ever when he died before he died I got a 2021 Nissan Rogue and I love my Rogue and I'm like look I really want to put a sticker mural on the back to the legends the hip hop like that's my shit as you can tell like that's my aesthetic that's my shit and so I could never find one for DMX so the only thing I found was like biker shit. You know what I'm saying? Too like the actual bikes. It wasn't until he died that I got his actual logo with
Mm.
the birth date and the death date on it. I was like, fuck, come on, capitalism at its best. The fun part of
Crazy.
that story is do you know how many motherfucking white boys stopped me in traffic about this shit on the back of the car? X
Yeah.
fucking rules, bro. Oh my
Yeah.
god,
Yeah.
it's fucking shit. The way that man went, or like I could be at a bar somewhere and they'll be like, yo, that's your truck. Yo, I've been looking at that X thing all like and it means so much to them all the time.
They know.
And it meant a lot to me too. Don't get it twisted, but it's wild to see the
They
way white
know.
boys go up for that. It is wild. It is
Bro,
wild. That if you see me in
I
traffic, don't do that. That's not. Don't do that.
I was wrong. I cried when that man died, bro.
Me too. Me too.
I completely enthralled my music into DMX. Matter of fact, oddly, rest in peace to my dad. The last show I did, um, I had performed a song called 1987.
Oh, we're gonna get into that.
A-
We're gonna get into that.
And I had invited my dad to that show. My
Yeah.
father's always been in and out of jail my whole life. He's never seen me perform. And this was about two years ago, 2 or 3 years ago. And he came to that show. I had him in the crowd, and that was the first time I was recorded. No one ever records me when I perform. I get everybody else, but no one. It was the first time I got recorded during a performance with my dad in the crowd. And Lord bless his soul, he passed away 2 weeks after that show.
Yeah.
But I dedicated that song to DMX because the irony behind it is the things I was going through in life that made me fall in love with DMX was because of this guy I had here at this show.
Yeah, yeah. And it's so funny because I was really about to go into 1987 as we are going into the music, which is hilarious that coincidental that you brought that up.
Mhm.
But with 1987, with it being so personal, like also drawing from that particular story, what does it mean to you? Like, what does that song, what does that chapter mean to you?
Well, I think that everybody has to have an emergence song. Um, an emergence doesn't take the same to me as intro. An introductory is first time coming. An emergence can be something that you know was underneath of the ground and it just showed its face.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not making introductions. This is an emergence. This is an uprising. This is me cracking a foundation under which I've always been.
Right.
So it's like with 1987, that's like my bio to the world. It's like, all right, here I am, niggas. It's like this is it. You you wonder what I was and who I am, and as epic as I could make it. Like the first lines, they wonder when I fell from heaven, August 26, 1987.
Mm-hmm.
Like I'm not telling you that. I'm not telling you that I'm anything beyond man, but I am letting you know that as a child of God, I didn't pop up here, bro. Like I'm
It was ordained.
I was sent.
Mm-hmm.
I was sent here for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's what that opening line is. But 1987 is 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 giving you what I feel. That's all that fury, all of that anger, all of the pain,
Right.
um, the ugliness outside, and I want you to feel that wickedness, that rawness that I'm walking in. Like that
Mm-hmm.
that's what I'm living in. There's no bubbles over here. A lot of people they hear me speak and they like, oh well, Gary, he must come from Baltimore County, or he must be from this place or this place because of how great the dialect is. And
Right.
I get it. I can still YouTube and do all day, but
I
when
swear, I swear, I swear
yeah,
to you. Do
I
you
can
know how many?
use
Do you know how many
YouTube and
times
do
we've
all
had that?
day, man.
Do you know how many times we've had that conversation on this program? Like, and I want people. I think it's very imperative that we do that and say that we don't all just be like, "Yo, fuck it is, dummy." Like we don't do that. And especially if you are a man of a particular ilk, a particular age bracket, like it's some shit that you're just not doing no more. Like we just not doing that. And I'm glad that you brought that up. That's hilarious that you said that, and I didn't have to lead into that because so many people on this program that are from here say that, and artists and their artistry say that because their cadence is different. It doesn't. It's not automatically gonna just be like, oh man, I'm just gonna do this because you're doing it for a check. You're not doing it for a check. And a song like 1987 resembles that you're not just doing it for a check.
Yeah, that was supposed to be rough, raw, ugly in your face because that's how I wanted you to feel how I see life.
Yeah.
Um that's how it's supposed to be impactful. It's not about getting rich. It's not about living this lavish life. It's not about the greater things. It's about the ugly.
Mm-hmm.
And 1987, that's a year, tail end of Reaganomics. Most of our parents was impacted by that. That was the
Mm-hmm.
crack epidemic. That fucked up a lot of our families. That's what
Right.
made a lot of us fall in love with hip hop because of what happened in
And the
the
stories that
80s
it tells.
and the
And
stories it tells. So
mm-hmm.
with that and me being an intellect, I don't have to manufacture music that sounds just like everyone else inside of my city. I
Right.
speak on a higher paradigm. I think on a higher paradigm. So my lexicon will never be the same as theirs. We're
Mm-hmm.
always going to have a differential, but it doesn't mean that I'm above or below any of my cohorts or co-parts in the city that does music. It's just the essence of 90s music is different. That
Mm-hmm.
the way that raw uncompressed shit hit is
Mm-hmm.
different.
Yeah.
And people lose sight of the culture when you just evolving into the new. You got to remember what the basis, what the derivative came from. Like you gotta know what foundation is.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the biggest for me. And one thing that I make sure of is no matter how raunchy I may get on a song or how rowdy or how rough or raw the song is, I always make sure that there's a fine line of enunciation.
Right, right, right.
I make sure that you can understand every word that's being spoken. We're not speaking broken English and Ebonics just because I come from a city. Because
Right.
people expect certain things just because you're from Baltimore. People expect you to, I guess, come across with the dummy shit and
And the extra drawn out slang, like we
yeah,
don't all do that. We don't all do that.
yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
we're close to the capital, which
yeah, right,
I mean for good or bad.
yeah.
We do have a high rate of education now. Granted, we did also have No Child Left Behind, and that fucked up a lot.
Not no child left behind. Oh
My nigga,
no,
there are some people that are not able to read, and they are in their 30s, and it is sad.
man. Yes,
It is sad.
yes,
It is
yes. It
sad.
is. Yes, it is.
Like
That
you
that
wonder
that's a,
how are you getting by?
that's
How are you
why
getting by?
you notice in the past, say, I want to say 5 years, there's been like a jump in people who watch videos or stream movies or even stream clips with captions.
Yes, yes. Even these clips will have captions. I ain't even gonna hold you.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's nuts. They're forcing people to read their movies now. Like
yeah, yeah. But you should.
you, you,
Like, you
you
should.
should, you
You
should.
should. Like sometimes, even though, like sometimes, and my a homeboy told me this too. Like if you have a movie on and you have closed caption, it's kind of good to have the closed caption on because sometimes there's something in an effect that you don't normally hear because you're just watching it, and then you read it and you're like, oh, somebody said that, and I'm hearing it off in the distance, so you can
Right,
kind of get an idea of what it is. The word a lot of people, I think, with the way that technology is moving now and the way that we're thinking, people are very scared of the word, the physical word not being there by you not physically opening books. But here's the thing: you still have to like. I'm in. I'm gonna say it now, but I'm in the process of writing a book. But I'm also in the process of writing the book with ChatGPT. So I'm directing a book. You know what I'm
hmm
saying to you? But I still have to read over the chapters. I can't guide it to it not making sense. You know what I'm
right.
saying? Like it all has to make sense at some point. So I think we're at the stage of technology being so far ahead and people still being very scared of changing it. But you got to think about it. You have a computer in your pocket every day. When we were coming up, they told us there was going to be at least one computer in the household, just one.
List 56K.
Right.
Now,
Like to be honest with you, when I look at it, there's one, two,
you got like five
three.
computers in your house
No, no, no. I
right
got like,
now.
well, actually,
You got like
yeah,
five
it is
computers
five.
in your
It is
house.
five. Now that you said it, it is five.
Yeah,
Whether they work or they don't, it is five.
you got them.
I got them. And then there is one, two, three, four, five, about five or six TVs that are smart.
Oh, you got a fucking renter center over there, don't you, bro? Just a whole fucking Best Buy over that bitch.
Do
Dang.
you know? Do you got motherfucking PlayStation and shit that's smart?
Of course,
Like
you got an
I'm alone.
Oculus, everything else.
I do have an Oculus right here, which
We
is
need to
fucking.
lock in, bro. I have an Oculus too. We gotta fucking
Oh my
lock in.
gosh, yes, because there's so much stuff I was saying to you outside of this, which is crazy. I was saying once we off camera, we'll tell you that. But yes, I do have an Oculus. I also ended up getting an additional MacBook. Like I have a two laptop setup situation. The shit that you just saw, and I keep going over this, and I know people will watch this and be like, "You keep talking about this, we got that camera." But the shit that you saw me do with this,
You
that
got the
is
static.
no, that is the AI camera from the. They need to sponsor me at this point. But this is the OBSA. So
I'm
this
sorry.
hmm the camera is only about like this big, and I
And
put
who's
it.
that by?
That's the company. It's called OBSA. OBSBot. Sorry.
Everybody right there. Y'all see that? See that?
It's
That's a
super.
promo drop.
It
This
right.
is
It's
a
so super cool.
AI. This is an AI static movement camera. He's not touching it. It
Yep.
moves just by focus and sensitivity. You
Yeah.
guys need to make the investment if you like the quality of this video. Holla at
And
Troy, get into the messages and let him know.
not to mention the fact the shit was only $70.
$70. Y'all can't beat that
$70.
with a
You hear
Billy
me?
Club. Can't
You
beat it
are
with a Billy Club.
investing. Invest in yourself. Just like the big thing, like you to circle back, like you're both an artist, you're an engineer, and you got full control over your sound, which is very difficult in this day. Well, very difficult was very difficult back then, but a little bit more easier now. How does that dual role affect the way that you create and deliver music?
It makes me limitless.
Mm-hmm.
It makes me limitless. As I'm in the lab right now, whenever I come in here, I have no bounds. I have no restrictions on creativity,
Right.
no restrictions on any intellectual level. And I love that freedom, but also it's bittersweet because when you're in a league of your own, you can't parallel with anybody,
Right.
and sometimes running a track by yourself ain't as fun when you ain't in a race with no one. There's no camaraderie.
Mm-hmm.
I don't, and I never shoot myself against anybody. That's the downside to it.
Mm-hmm.
But the upside to it, knowing that I have freedom, I don't have to ask for it. I don't have to bargain with anybody to do anything with anybody. I can just jump out, pop out whenever I feel like it.
Right.
That shit is golden to me, bro. I
Mm-hmm.
got a chance to to intern in the industry, play behind the scenes. I got a chance to see how things go. And I know what kind of strongholds these contracts have on artists and their levels of creativity. I'd
That's right.
never never could consider myself an artist and couldn't freely create.
Right.
I could never put myself in a predicament like that to be bound by a term in a contract that keeps me from being who I am and displaying who I am truly to the
Mm-hmm.
public. So like I love it. My little Legion of Doom, my little Lab of Aham.
Right. Right.
It feels good because sometimes you'll get to a point where, and as I'm sure you do, you'll make the investment, you'll have the equipment, and you'll have a day where you have absolutely no ideas and just don't want to touch it.
Yeah.
It's nothing
Um,
there.
I do believe in the source of burnout. Like
Yep.
I've gotten to a point with this where I got burnt out. And the reason being is because for me, in the grand scheme of things, I've done everything about it for the love. You know what I'm saying to you? And I never got to a point of saying, "Oh, I'm gonna do this for the money, for the money, for the money." There is no money for me personally. There is nobody, and I'm in the space of doing it for the love because I do it for the love of hip hop. Strangely enough, I just listened to that song the other day, but I do it for the love of hip hop. Like I do it for the love of the culture. You've seen me spit. You've seen me be on stage. You've seen me do all
Oh
of those things.
yeah.
That's fine. That's fun too. But this, like this, and the level of intimacy in it, to be like, yo, this is what it is. I've gotten so many great sound bites that it looks and feels good. And if I can promote and push somebody else's shit too, I feel even better for it. When you stop doing things for money and do it for love, it makes things a lot easier. Now, do you get burnt out? Fuck yeah, you will get burnt out. You will get burnt out. Absolutely. Absolutely.
But
But
that's when you know
yeah,
that you've invested, bro.
yeah, that's
You can't burn out unless you working.
true.
That's it.
True that. And not only that, like I realized that I had worked my ass off because I always had to look in this room and I'm like, nigga, I really did this shit. And I did this shit during COVID when everybody else was shut down. I was working this shit during COVID. Like
COVID.
like I would like lockdown wise, I was still outside doing DoorDash. Let me tell y'all something. I miss it. I miss the lockdown days. Do you know how lucrative fucking DoorDash was?
Bro,
Lucrative.
Bro,
Lucrative.
every hustler came up during COVID. I swear for
Right.
God, if you didn't get your hustle on during COVID, you was lost in the sauce. If you didn't take that as a sign to go get some of this extra money out here and take
Mm-hmm.
advantage of this shit, the way that these other elites are taking advantage of it, you are going to be passed in this race.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I don't know, nigga. We had the studio. We was sneaking appointments in after curfew.
I remember you told me that,
Wait,
right?
like you gotta do what you gotta do. The hustle don't stop, bro.
Yeah,
Like you
yeah.
gotta keep it going, and that's one thing that I've always. We're gonna do flowers. That's one thing I've always enjoyed about working with you, Troy.
Oh,
Um, you've always been one consistent.
gotcha.
Consistency is key for me. I love doing business,
Hmm.
and outside of business, it's hard to tap into people on a personal level when you're not that social. But
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you see someone's integrity through their work, you see someone's purpose through the way they walk. I think that it creates a more credible and more believable picture
Hmm.
for people to absorb, and it's easily absorbed by me. You've always been one down for the culture. um, Hell, you've been just about as consistent as talking about music as you've been talking about your wife. I think you married to both.
I am.
Yeah,
Fully.
you probably explained that shit to her too, knowing you, Troy. You probably
Yeah.
made a statement. It was like it's you and hip hop, baby. Like
You know
knowing
what?
you.
So actually, fun fact though, when we got into this, we actually got into this together. We actually
Woo!
musically got into it together of being artists, me, her, and her brother. And that was when we made. Remember when it was like MEO Entertainment and shit like that, and we
Yeah. I
yeah.
remember that.
So that was all of us. Like she did production stuff. She taught her brother how to do production stuff. Like people
Mm,
fail to realize on the back end, it was a lot. Like I did the working, the writing, the performance, the out there, and all of that stuff, and they did a lot of the back end stuff as well. So, and until my brother-in-law started doing performing and his own records and doing all the things for itself. And of course, it dissolves and things change and people have children, and so we move forward. But yeah, when you build a relationship that's built in and forged in, this is what we did. You know what I'm saying? We had this conversation last night, as a matter of fact. It was very much so. I was like, I thank you for not um, trying to change me and allowing me to be me on a consistent basis. Where she's not the person to be like, "Well, I'm outside or I'm in front of the camera or I'm doing all of this and doing all of that." Like, no, she was like, but I understand it. And I'm not out there to do all of the things and be
right,
disrespectful either. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
I know when home is home and I'm like, look, I got to make this shit happen. So, yeah, so that's where that comes from, though. Yes, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Sly Family Stone, man. Rest in peace to Sly. I like
Yeah.
to thank you for letting me be
Be
myself
myself.
again. My man said again.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, absolutely. So it's real shit. But speaking of music, now that you just said that, Real Nigga Boulevard is not just a title. It sounds like a statement. What does the Boulevard represent to you, and how do you balance raw truth with motivation in your music?
Oh boy, you be doing some research before you do these interviews, don't you? Oh,
Yeah.
you's a slick
You
motherfucker,
you
Troy.
know this. This is your second
Boy,
time on the program. You know this.
boy, you's a slick.
You
Listen. I literally have not done an interview since I've talked to you, Les. I have not sat down with anyone, bro. So
yeah.
this is damn you catching me. But Real Nigga Boulevard. So it's a lot. It's a lot behind that. One, the title alone. I wanted to find a way to bring over the song. Excuse me,
God
fighting a
bless you.
little cold. Yeah, I wanted to find a way to bring over the song without it being derogative in the title alone. So I had named it R&B.
Hmm.
That's what the original name was, R&B, because I was
Right.
like, oh, someone will want to just click on a song that says R&B. But when you hear the chorus, it's like, oh, I know what R&B stand for. And it's
Yeah.
like when you from any neighborhood, you're always going to think that there's always going to be people that strut that block, believing that they the biggest shit, they're the toughest shit, they're the realest shit, and that's just one thing about us in this city. No matter how our city looks to other people, we claim this shit. This is
Hmm.
us. This is what we come from. But I do know that. a lot of those kids that I grew up with up and down in Alameda, we was all in the same situation. We had moms and we didn't have our fathers, or we had fathers and we didn't have our mothers. It was one of the two. A lot of us was raised by grandparents. So we had some of the strict rules of being in the household when we were in the household, but when we was outside, we were just outside. So you had to learn uh I guess discipline and civility amongst your peers. You didn't get it instituted in house.
Right.
Um, so outside, a lot of us we decided that we were going to be our strongholds for each other, and in that you start believing that you the realest nigga ever. If I got my bros and we strong, we getting money. If we got things moving around here, people respect us. People know where we come from. This the realest strip you could be on. And
Right.
and all of my people are the same city. I'm from a real nigga boulevard. Is nobody from is nobody from Baltimore City that you can mention the Alameda to. They know what the Alameda is.
I mean,
Everyone knows the
not even
locale.
just that, Baltimore, period. Because I'm
Yeah,
from Baltimore County and I know what the Alameda is. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Everybody
So,
knows what the Alameda is, and
right.
I got it in ink. You know, it's 212 Trade 9. I'm from the northeast, left shoulder of the city, and I'm proud of it. But
Hmm.
it's
Hmm.
nothing for you to play with. And I like everything about my section because the demographics in the city are different. West Baltimore, and I don't want to start this argument, but West
It is not
Baltimore
an
is different.
argument.
It's
Right.
different from South Baltimore.
Yes.
It's different from
Clearly.
East Baltimore. And Northeast is different from other parts of Baltimore because
Right.
people forget that, when they think of Northeast, they automatically thinking of, say, Bel Air Road or something like that. But they
Mm.
forget that that upstretches the White Marsh. You forget that York Road upstretches to Towson.
Hmm.
Like, this is a section of the city where as though you can be on a city block in York Road looking at the grime on the corner, looking at drug dealers and everything else. You can go one block over and you in mansions over on St. Dunstan. It's a whole
That's
new
true.
world.
That's very, very true. Very, very true. Very, very true.
And then I also learned that certain parts of the city has homeowners and older homeowners,
That
which
are still there.
manufactures a different type of demographic and feel in the neighborhood. So
Hmm.
when you come from a place where a lot of these homes aren't being rented, they're being owned. That means that you are coming from an area where your parents got to have a job.
Hmm.
Also, because you got to catch buses a lot, you're coming from an area where that 15 and a half means it's time to go get a permit, buddy. We need to start driving. It's
Yeah.
that important.
Yeah.
So, being raised in a certain area, you start to follow the lead of life and the
Hmm.
importance of life. You grow up with so many people in your house that your first thought is, I got to get a place.
Yeah.
I gotta find something on my own. So as soon as you're legal to, you're going after these responsibilities of an adult because of what life is giving you, because of circumstance. These things are important to you.
Hmm.
And I just found out that a lot of us in the area that I was coming from, we were raised the same way. All of us was like, you 15 and a half, you trying to go to driving school with me? You want to sign up? Let's go together.
Right.
Like, that was a thing. We're
Right.
getting excited about things that people in other neighborhoods don't get excited about because they have access or they
Hmm.
have everything around them that they can walk to. A lot
Yeah.
of them have cousins that live across the street or around the corner.
Hmm.
So they didn't have to deal with these things. So I just loved how my area, my section, and the way things were for us, although they were circumstantial, they were influential and they were educating, and
Yeah.
it propelled me to be who I am. That's why I said that's a real nigga boulevard. There's no cut cards. There's nobody over there to give you any handouts. Even your teachers up and down that area in Leithwalk Elementary or Northwood, Yorkwood, Montebello. These are schools that you don't hear a lot about, but these kids don't have it easy.
Hmm.
They do not have it easy. They're going through the same thing that kids on Biddle Street, Hoffman, or kids on Park Heights, kids on Rogers. Everything that their parents are dealing with, the same thing that these kids are dealing with.
No, for
And
sure.
we,
For sure. For
and
sure.
it's like you just find a way to counter maneuver it, and that
You know what? And
toughness.
And I think that we are in an era and a generation that is learning the new dialogue for all of this because you said something which was kind of important, like how we got to a point where we get to where we almost like get to 18 and it's like, oh shit, you gotta find somewhere to live because
Yep.
you're so stagnated. But what I think I wish that we would have realized that I could have spent a little bit more time at home. Like I'll be honest with you, I didn't move out until I was 21 ish. Yeah, about 21 ish. And then I didn't really start driving until I was 25, to be honest with you, because I was so determined because nobody gave me anything and I had to really push to do all of this shit. And I was still in the county. So like where I think a lot of times our war and our battles between east side, west side, north side, this, that, and the third all come from is that we look like it looks like it can look like on the outside
Right.
that it's okay, but truth be told, on the inside, nigga, we are. This is the reason that we're all getting the mental health that we need. This is the reason that we're going to fucking therapy now because that Reagan administration that you talked about earlier fucked
Yeah.
all of us up. Fucked
Yeah.
all of us up. And
Yeah.
so we're at a point of just trying to figure it out and trying to make new things happen and this, that, and third. Because I know that I need to get to a point to talk about certain things and not still be aggressive about it. Not angry, but just unnecessarily aggressive about it. You know what I'm saying?
But
And so I
but
think we're in there.
you may never lose the passion for that subject, bro.
Sure.
So you
Very much
gotta
so. Very
accept
much so.
that.
Sure.
You gotta
That's
accept
true.
that aggression sometimes is mistranslated. It
That
can
and that
be
and that
it
becomes a
can be
problem.
passion.
Hmm.
Even people who will talk to you, sometimes they'll say, "Oh, he's a little aggressive about that subject." No, that's passion.
Yep.
And that's not something to be contained. That's so that
Correct.
you understand my
I
excitement
also believe
about this.
that that becomes an issue too, especially when we have walked into white spaces. Let's just keep this shit 100. When we walked into white spaces, it has
Yes.
been, and I love my white people. I do. Don't let's not get it twisted because y'all cut the check early. But hello,
He
but
said it.
who
He
the
said
fuck
it.
I'm lying to?
I ain't
Shit,
say that shit.
who
He said it.
there?
I'm still I'm still waiting on some checks from you white folk. I ain't
Hey,
gonna lie.
hey.
Hey, the industry
Here's the
don't
thing.
pay
That's
on
true.
time.
That's
Just
true.
saying.
That's true. That is
They
true.
don't
For
pay on time.
corporate America, they pay it on time.
Right.
However, the I work for the black folk now, and I appreciate that too, and they paying on time as well, and they got some good benefits, so I'm very happy about that.
And
Yeah, but I think that we I've been in those spaces where because I'm passionate, because I speak with so much, they had a force to try to dim my light like that, and I didn't realize that that was the case. You know what I'm
oh yeah.
saying? Like, oh, that's too much. Oh, you're too aggressive. Or why you feel like that? Well, why do we have to unpack this now? This is not the time to unpack this. The time to unpack this should have been yesterday when you did the fuck shit. I'm telling you again now. You know what I'm saying? And so it it lends to a level of aggression. Like if you're from the East Coast, it's so much smog, there's so much bullshit over here. You got an attitude. Fuck that. Like the bottom line is you're going to have an attitude. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that it happened to you. And sometimes the further you go down south with life gets slower, your attitude be a little bit less. You go over west, it depends. It depends on where it is at. If you are in a densely populated city, you're going to have a fucking attitude. Sorry. It is what it is. But back to the kids. You said in your music, motivation for the kids that traveled the same roads I did. What is the most important message you want the kids to walk away with when they hear your music? I know I work hard. Don't judge me. I know I work hard.
No is not no is not an legitimate answer when it involves your future.
Hmm.
There's no negotiating on your talent, and also your past. Your past, your past will always mold your future, but your past won't make your future.
And it won't
Um,
define it.
that yeah, it will not define it. Your ordinance in this world is a lot bigger than what people know.
Hmm.
And when you learn what your strengths are, and when you understand who your keeper is, you'll understand how limitless you are. Um, while I'm on your platform, I don't care how much gangster shit I talk about, how much trap shit I talk about. I put God first in
Yeah,
everything.
yeah,
And that's one of the main reasons why DMX was a great influencer for me.
yep.
Regardless of status quo, regardless of what it looked like, I don't have to have the gaudy jewelry. I don't have to wear the Gucci, the biggest labels. I don't have to flaunt any of these things. I can enjoy life and live
Mhm,
life and just let you know that all this stuff was provided through God. And
mhm.
anytime that I fall, that's the same person you hear me call on. So I follow suit of great rappers that follow suit of great men. And if you're a follower of Christ, I don't mind you being a great leader,
Yeah,
or considering you a great leader.
yeah.
But that's all. I want the kids to know that they're limitless. You be fearless past your circumstances. Um, learn the lingo. Learn how to learn this code switching thing that you see other people doing, because it'll
It's
get
a
you far.
thing. It is a thing.
We didn't have to do it a while ago, but now it's a thing. And if you acquire this like acquiring cursive, you'll be fine. That's all I got for the
And you know what?
kid.
Here's the thing. I believe that we've always done it though, as a
Yeah.
people. Period. Like we've always done it. Like it's always been literally a thing where it's been like you had to, even in the way that we dress. Just like for instance with the Met Gala, you're talking about like dandyism. You know what I'm saying? So like with dandyism, it was the way in which we influenced and dressed and it looked the way that we did when we went to church and so on and so forth. But that in itself is a form of expression that was outright compared to the way that the norm of things should have looked. You know what I'm saying? So like where was the big hats or the zoot suits or this, that, and the third? Even we perpetuated that in our fashion. And when we got into certain spaces, we had to tone that down. You know what I'm
Well,
saying? That's a consideration of code switching too.
and the evolution of code switching was stagnated by the past two generations. You got to understand, if you bring a generation into the world where their parents are living in a time where, one, college is not important anymore. You can be a
Mm-hmm.
millionaire before you're 20.
Mm-hmm.
It's possible.
Mm-hmm.
Where you're in a time where you can manufacture a product and you can base your own value and you can make money online. People have found a way to be divisive. So no longer do the parents have the mindset that our parents had because of the lack of resources they had. These things aren't important. You have kids that are born into what I call audacity, whereas though they can be very audacious, they'll test their limits. And because there's no parameters set by their parents, because their parents in their 20s and they live in a free world, they live in a social media bubble, where there's no restrictions on output or disclosure. These people then grow with the thought that we don't have perimeters. The world is what you make it.
Yeah.
So and if you promote social media platforms to be the greatest place for self-expression, people then think I don't have to worry about how someone's going to perceive me. I get likes no matter what I put on social media. I don't
Right.
have to
And
worry about.
that becomes the issue.
And then when you get comfortable in that, you no longer have an importance for code switching. It's
Yeah.
like any population I get put in front of now is going to have a universal acceptance for me, because that's how it is on social media and that's my social norm.
Right.
And these things get perpetuated over and over again till we have to try to drive it into social media some way. We have to be on podcasts like this talking about things like this,
Yeah.
and
Yeah. Yeah.
to make it relevant so that this bubbles and sparks some sort of catalytic change for these kids. But it gets lost because the people around us, they have an age where they're bringing in three, four kids before they're 30.
Which again, and it's wild to me. And to be a man of a particular age and a particular status and be like, oh, we don't have any children. I'm actually okay with that. I'm actually at a point where I do not. I say this all the time. My dad had four children by four different women. That's eight personalities. That shit is so much to try. Eight personalities amongst your own, and then any other woman that you're dealing with aside from that as well. Because niggas just have this tendency that this is what you're gonna do. You don't understand how much of the trauma that it causes and all the breaks. And then the first thing everybody is asking you, Troy, is why you won't have no kids? Why am I going to keep bringing this black trauma? Why we keep bringing the bullshit into it? Like, if it was ordained or set for us to do so, then fine. For me, I realized that my mission in life is to help uplift and educate others. And sometimes I pull in where other parents lack. You know what I'm saying? And I didn't know I was doing it because everything that I've done in life has very much so been ordained by God, where it's been like I don't even know I'm doing it. It's just God
Mm-hmm.
leading my footsteps. I'm just doing what I do. You know what I'm saying to you? And then everybody's like, "Oh, it's so great, it's so great." Is it? It's just what God said to do. it's,
Isn't,
it's just,
isn't this supposed to be the norm?
right. Isn't that supposed to be the norm? Isn't that supposed to be the norm? You're not getting locked up. Okay, well, isn't that what I'm supposed to do? Like, what are we talking about? You know what I'm saying? Like, these things just become the norm. They do.
Man, I hate to go off topic, man. Can we have a discussion about that? Can we talk about being in this sector of business and being a Christian man,
Hmm.
having a
And,
belief system and
yeah,
being
and
in
holding fast into your belief.
holding fast into your peace and also understanding what it is to be a Christian because that gets how old are you, Troy?
I am 40. I just turned 42.
All right, I just turned 38. I mean, you don't have kids. We in the same
Right.
league. I can
Right.
understand what's going on. I get all the questions too. So, when it comes to us being Christian men, I know a lot of times people believe that because you believe in something, you'll fall for whatever. Or you're
Hmm.
supposed to do a tuck and tell, or you're supposed to be told off or talked to however.
Hmm.
Nowhere in the chapter of any Bible did it ever state that Jesus was a bitch. It never stated that Jesus
That motherfucker flipped over tables about his daddy. So there's that.
bro. Like I got a chance to read into some of the lost books
Yeah.
about his childhood, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
And when you learn
Rightfully.
that he was he 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 killed his classmates, bro. Brung their asses back to life. Like the motherfucker, he did things that we do. You know how you'll do something, people be like, "Oh, that's crazy. You that's not going to work. You shouldn't do that." I read a story, just a small caveat. I read a story where this was inside of the I believe it was the inspirations of Jesus Christ through the book of Thomas.
Hmm.
It was a book of Thomas. So he was speaking about Christ when he was in school, and he had said that he was over at a puddle playing with clay, playing with mud, and he had fashioned three birds out of mud. His teacher came over to him and said, "Don't do that. You're not supposed to craft things that have life out of clay. That's
Hmm.
wizardry. That's you shouldn't do that. That's witchcraft." And he said, "Why is it witchcraft?" He said, "It's not pottery." He said, "These are living things." Jesus clapped three times, told him to take flight. The birds flew off.
Right.
He put him inside of a classroom. Teacher told him to do the alphabet. He asked it. The teacher told him, "Teach me the alphabet." He said, "I'll teach you the alpha if you could teach me about the omega."
Hmm.
Who speaks like that to a teacher? He challenged his teachers so bad. One of his teachers ran through the village and threatened to commit suicide because he felt he had no purpose. His child was smarter than him. How many times did we as children challenge our teachers because at some point we felt like, I know this shit?
Yeah. But then, in the same breath, we were then taught that we need to stay in the child's place.
That's what administration does to you over time.
But it's not even
But
just administration, because that was also embedded in the home. It was very much.
administration.
You're right. Well, true. It was very much so. It was very much so. Stay in the child's place. Child should be seen and not heard.
I heard. Oh, I hate that shit,
You
Troy.
know what I'm
I
saying?
hate that
And
shit.
then what goes on in our house stays in our house.
Stays in the house.
But what happens when it's the fuck shit? And then you
God
still
damn it.
doing the fuck shit.
God damn it!
What happens when there's the fuck shit and you're still doing the fuck shit as an adult? Like, I don't understand. Then the niggas,
Speak on it, Troy.
then the niggas from that era refuse to get fucking help. Refuse to get help. You need. Let me tell you something. There is a hierarchy. Yes, yes. God is omnipotent. Yes, He can take care of many different things, but it's gonna take time. But you
Time.
also must do the work in the in between in order for that to be the motherfucking case. Let me say it again for the niggas in the back. You must do the work
Word.
for the in between for that
Okay.
time before the time come because it don't make no sense. So the niggas that are older than us, the fuck shit that you used to do, the shit you used to talk about in the barbershop, the way that you motherfucking manipulate and treat women and shit, putting hands on bitches and shit, all of this shit that you do, it is fuck shit. And you will be left to your motherfucking rusty, dusty grave by yourself and hurt and wondering why.
Yeah.
What is it me? Is it me? Is it author man amount of one? Because I don't understand why y'all don't seem to understand that. Get the motherfucking help that you need. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp.
Hey, you put a drop in. Put a drop in there. They need it.
And let me tell you something. Better help, better sponsor me because it's real shit. It's real shit out here. Like that, it's crazy. It is wild to me why they will not get the help. We gonna circle back into that. That was a great segue, but we gonna circle back into some bullshit.
Had to. Had to. Sorry.
Let's talk about the F&R shit. Let's talk about F&R Studio and Blaze the Stage because you're an entrepreneur. You built F&R Studios into a staple where artists come, they get to be amazing, and you get to push them out in the city and do what they do. And I know, right? And how long have you been in business, and what made you take the leap into your own ownership of your studio as well?
I have been in business since 2006, my first year out of high school. Um,
And I've
I've
known
opened up.
you since 2011. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I've opened my studio in 2006. I started recording people in the house. Got a commercial space by 2012. Um, Everybody that know me, they know about 5903. If they've been to the crib before I got the space, they know about the small as booth, the little
Let's talk.
closet.
Let's talk. Let's tell the story. Let me tell the story. Let me tell the story.
They they
So
they
there's
know.
I'm telling the story. I'm gonna tell the story one more time. So there's a young ass rapper, right, by the name of Young Smooth. I don't know him personally, but he out there. So
Oh,
so he got a sister, and at the time, out of her many monikers, her name was Vet Stunner at that particular portion. You understand what I'm saying to you? Now she working with this nigga. I don't know him personally, but his name was G Hood. I didn't know him. You know what I'm saying to you? Now, at the time, I had been working and doing my own thing in musically, and it was a bridge that kind of built me and my sister together. I was like, cool, no problem. Bet. I'm writing for her project for the mixtape for dummy shit, and I am literally like, yo, I'm just writing this because I really want to just be a part of it. I'm like I said, the way I feel about hip hop, I just want to be a part of the scene and the situation. I get in the booth and I spit, and I get out the booth, and in the G Hood of G Hood ways, this nigga say, yo, you ever think about making a mixtape, yo? I was like, nah, I'm just here for myself. Being shy and just evasive about all of the shit, right? Lo and behold, we fast forward. Eventually, this nigga has me on stage. I'm on the Blazer stage. I still have pictures from those nights, all of that shit. So you are a complete inspiration to parts of why I do what I do because, and that's why I'm giving you your flowers because had you in that moment not said to me in your obscure way, like, yo, you ever thought about being, having your own shit, yo? Like, whether you thought about it, me getting money, or you just heard the voice and was like, yo, this works. Like, yo, the kid got something nice. Like, you pushed me to give me an ample amount of confidence to move forward. So I thank you for that. And yes, we were in the closet space at that moment.
yeah. I'm gonna drop a little caveat into that story. Listen. what a lot of people don't understand is when I record, I'm a person that's big on one animation. I'm big. I still do ad libs. I know
Hmm.
the importance of ad libs, but when you become an engineer, you record so many people who come in speaking so monotoned and so down, or they want to drag all the time. And when you have someone who comes through, you hear you hear excitement in their voice. One, they're excited about what they about to put down.
Yeah.
Two, they have a voice that's not like everyone else. They're not out there just raspy, yelling at everybody else. And he has an animation about him. Whereas though I'm like, his shit has color to it. It's not a black and white audio clip. Like I can it's dynamics to this. This guy needs to do more than just this little track bullshit. He needs a project. He needs
Right.
a project. The more he hears himself, the crazier he's going to get. Like he needs to be enthralled in this shit. This isn't something he should play with. When you notice that difference amongst all the people that you come in contact with in a space, you gotta be honest with a person and tell them like, bro, don't just bullshit with this.
Yeah.
Know what your capability is. Know what you can do. Because I record trash all the time. And
Hmm.
I'm brutally honest with the trash. So I
Hmm.
have no reason to withhold anything that's going to constitute you being slicker, nicer, tighter, better.
Yeah.
Because once you feel more engaged with your music and once you feel like it's a responsibility to have a certain standard. Like, y'all, I never had to go over choreography or nothing. This man come performing and he's got his own animation. He was my size and moved around more than me on the stage. I do not dance. I don't move. I don't go side to side. I might come
Ah!
down off stage. I walk around. This guy will pivot around, swing his arms. He was just as big as me, shifting all that fucking weight around on
Yep.
stage, and
Hmm.
he got down. That's one thing that you can't pull from a lot of these artists.
But you know what?
And
And
if
that
somebody
came
has it
from
naturally.
Busta Rhymes. I always credit that from Busta
Oh,
Rhymes.
gee, another goat. Damn.
The reason for that was because, like I said it on another interview recently, and I said that Buster always said, he said on backstage, if you not playing for the niggas in the back part of the stage, get the fuck off stage. Like, what are you doing? And so that always mentally was in my mind. Like, I'm playing for everybody that's in it. I don't give a fuck if I can see you or I can't. You know what I'm saying to you? Because yeah, for the people that's in the front, that's fine. That's one thing. But you know, the motherfuckers is in the back that just want to chill out or this, that, and third. You still gotta feel me too. So that was one of my things. Absolutely. And
Troy brought
especially
that fucking energy.
I,
Always had that fucking energy, bro. I ain't gonna lie. The people in your camp couldn't keep up with you. You had more energy than them. I
still
think
do.
that they thought of you as an artist, but they didn't consider Troy the performer. And I think
Yeah,
that they skipped that part. They didn't know that you had that.
yeah,
You didn't need people to sit there and amp you up when you was on stage. You was like, I know y'all gonna motherfucking listen to me. It's
yeah,
Troy motherfucking Smooth. Like you on your shit. You ain't
yeah,
waiting for nobody
yeah,
to give you a tug. And that shit is priceless. Like
yeah. I still do
I,
that to this day. So
you brung a show to the show, nigga. Like that's a two-part tandem. We can't play with that. Niggas
yeah,
need that. So
thank
yeah,
you,
you were
thank you.
vital.
Yeah, and not only that, like even hosting, I still do that to this day. Like I still am that person. Like I really am hoping, and I got to make that call soon anyway too. But I'm really hoping to do Howard Homecoming. That's what I'm really hoping for, to do Howard Homecoming again, because Howard Homecoming,
I would love to perform.
yo, Howard Homecoming be lit. I ain't gonna hold you. I
I would
ain't
love
gonna
to
hold
perform at that homecoming, bro. If we could find one party to perform at over there, we gotta swing that, man.
you. Hmm.
Man, also backtrack, and I gotta drop a little thing for me, toot for me. 1987, we did get that bump on Shade 45.
You
Had to put
did.
that
Oh, I
in
forgot about that. And I
there.
meant to call
Yeah,
you on that day. I was actually in my
yeah.
car listening to that. Speaking of which, I got to call Sirius XM because I got to get that motherfucking price back down. They're playing.
Yeah,
Seriously, seriously,
them
them be
are,
trying to be trying to jinx it.
those motherfuckers. They try to play with me on that motherfucking radio. They
Hmm.
try to play with me, but that's the thing. When you drop songs like that and how impactful they are for you, I know that it can be misinterpreted by a lot of people. Because even when you go on a platform like Shade 45, where you're supposed to be hip hop listeners,
Hmm.
as soon as I say, yeah, this is a tribute to DMX, they're like, oh no, man, you can't do that. Like, it's for the culture.
Yeah,
And some people was like, nah, we can't get with that. Whereas though I got people back home and people in the city that's like, that shit crazy. That shit go nuts, nigga.
oh
Like,
yeah,
what the fuck?
1987 is the shit. It's the shit.
Yeah, so that was misinterpreted by a lot of people, but that did get dragged on Shade 45. Shout out to Sirius Radio and Lord Sears show on there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
appreciate it, man.
I love Lord Said Show though. That's my shit though. I love listening to that shit in traffic.
Hmm.
It will get me through traffic. I'm not gonna lie to you. But back to you, of course. Who are some of the Baltimore artists that you work with in F&R Studio that people should pay attention to right now? Not me. Not me. Not me.
Well, right now, I have worked with. She was by the moniker of Vet Center, but now she goes under Nelly Hendrix.
Yes.
Um, I got word that she's down in Atlanta bubbling. I think
Yes.
everybody needs to go and show my sister some love.
Hmm.
Um, I've had a guy named D Money Chases. He's down in Atlanta right now. Show him some love. Um, I I I've worked with a lot of people, bro. Uh, uh, Cameron and Ron Rose, the twins. Shout out to them. I know that those two brothers, they're still doing a lot. They did some collabs with some of the hottest people in the city, including Young Moose. I know they're still bubbling around. That as too many people to name. I've had so many souls come through here, bro.
Hmm.
Yeah, I hope all of them are doing well, but for the most part right now, who I know is actually on that backpack and I see doing the footwork. Nelly Hendrix, y'all. That's who
Okay.
I got on my list. Go and show my sister some love, man, for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, yeah. And it was very funny for you because I remember because that's my half sister and it's very but my sister nonetheless. But it was very funny for you. You was like, yo, y'all really related? I was like, yeah, we have the same dad. We have the same dad. We are really related. And you just and it was and I think that um really gave you a vibe for us. Like remember when we did the what was it the no the it was on mixtape for dummies that we did the video for no mediocrity or whatever, and it was you and her. It was over that Ti beat.
Probably.
Yeah, and we was out like we was downtown and shit, and we shot the video. It was me, you, Wintress, Cherie.
Okay, yeah, I remember. We were,
Yeah,
yeah. We was down there by Federal Hill.
yeah. When I tell you that motherfucking shit came back the other day, and I looked at that video, it just randomly cycled. I said, "Wow."
Yo, you gotta send me that shit. I
If I
don't.
find it again, I'm gonna send it to you. I'm gonna send it to you because I
That's
literally,
crazy.
yeah, it literally came up, and I think it's either in my downloads or my watch list on YouTube, one of the two. But I'm gonna definitely send that shit over to you because I was like, yeah, that is a moment in time. It is a moment in time, and we just speaking of moments in time. Um, Fans still talk about and ask about Blaze's stage. Do you feel like you'll ever be able to recreate, not recreate the moment, but recreate that again in some way, in some form?
I've been thinking about that. I think that there's a need to right now. I'm saying that there's a pocket in a city where there's a lack of open mics happening.
Hmm.
Um, and I think that I had came into your ear at one time about being interested in possibly finding me a club. So I
Hmm.
can go ahead and reopen that. I got to really check the demographic right now and see what the younger population that are recording uh, are in need of. You know, the whole purpose of Blazer Stage wasn't just for you guys to perform. It damn sure wasn't about the money for me. Um, it was to give you guys a chance to see what you're supposed to get when you
Yeah,
perform.
yeah.
Um,
Oh, because the forcing of making people come to the front of the stage was hilarious, and we
oh
do that
yeah,
shit
oh
all the
yeah.
time.
Oh yeah, I wanted people to understand what crowd control was. I wanted people to understand what it felt like to be an artist. At the time, all the open mics in the city, they were charging door money, and you could possibly get on stage,
Hmm. Hmm.
and you could possibly have people there to perform. That's not how I wanted to operate. I wanted everybody that came through that door for you to one have studio time. Two, you get an interview lined up. And
Yep.
then three, we get photography of your performance
And
because you should
that's
have
how I
some
met.
pictures.
That's how I met
Lisa,
Edinga. Well, yes, Lisa
Edinga
G.
and Lisa.
Yep.
Yep, through Charm
Yep.
City Radio, Charm City
Yep.
TV.
Yep.
Yep, yep. Shout
Hmm.
out to E Digger, man. So,
Hmm.
like, I wanted people to be a part of these local networks and start thinking of building their own network when it came
Yep.
to artistry, because you needed to know how it felt to be on a big stage without being a big stage. Shout out to my man John and Don coming all the way up from Jacktown. My man used to come through in a mink coat with all the diamonds dripping, the DTS diamonds and everything. We had y'all in the back doing the photo ops and sitting down with the interviewers. Like, that was a vibe, bro. We ran that shit for about a year in that club downtown across the street from the jail in a city neighborhood where people ain't have no problem robbing or jacking. We had no issues. We had no
None.
fights. We had
None.
we had the police in the crowd. We had the feds come through a few times because they thought it was going to be an issue, but
Not
we never
one.
had any issue. I provided my own security. I,
Hmm.
I had my own host. Shout out to you and Vet Stunner, Nelly Hendricks.
That's so
Um,
true. God, that was such a good
yeah,
time.
I had my own people on the door. I had everything under control, and you guys had a wonderful time.
We
We had
did.
smoke machines, lights. I didn't even get a chance, and this is for the public. Y'all don't know how much work went behind it. I not only orchestrated this shit, but I also was the DJ for these people.
You
I
sure
did
was.
everyone's music, so
You
I
know
would
what?
get a
You know who else I'm planning on interviewing and I met through Blaze Stage? Jersey Sean.
Oh yeah, shout out to Big Jersey Sean, man. My man, the teddy bear, he sings his ass off. He's got a voice to be reckoned with as well.
So good.
So
So good.
shout out to my man Sean Webb. Y'all definitely
He
look
should be
out for
coming up.
him.
He should be coming up somewhere in this series too, which is great.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Big Sean. And even and that's why I say everything that happens in my past life or happened around the way kind of pushed me towards everybody.
Hmm.
Certain situations pushed me towards meeting Sean.
Yeah.
And if I had never been in these situations, I'd have never met this man or been able to discover how crazy of a
Brilliant.
singer this dude is
Brilliant.
crazy. Like, I did sessions with this man where I got him in the studio in a beater going off at the desk,
Yeah.
like wilding at the desk, man.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
shout out to Big Sean, man. That's my guy.
Hmm. Yep. And that's another thing. I think that you are, again, to give you your flowers, you're a person that actually brings community together a lot of the times. You know,
Absolutely.
why do you feel like you are do you feel underrated in any kind of way from that?
It's the boss effect.
Hmm.
It's the boss effect. When you take lead on something and there's no shared blueprint because you're doing it all from here. You don't have anything written down for anybody to follow suit. You don't have a apprentice. There's no one besides you that you can give this game to a
Hmm.
co game with. So, in most of these things, it's all ad hoc for me. I go with my heart and what I think is going to feel right. But the boss effect, when you stand as the one people depend on, it's really hard then to depend on those people because they see you as the support. So a lot of times, you know, you're the platform they seeking.
Right.
You're not the one they're seeking. They're seeking what you have to offer. And it's so hard to be, I guess, discovered or recognized as the artist when people recognize you as the platform.
Hmm.
And I think that that's what gets lost in translation. And it also pushed me back in my state of creativity because I started having moments where I was like, well, maybe I should just be the engineer instead of the artist,
Right.
you
Right. Right.
know.
Right. Right. Right.
And I fall back based on demand of the people I deal with. Where so that's a foolish thing to do because I'm dealing with such a small group of people that I got the rest of the world to think about beyond
Hmm.
these 10, 20, 30 people. So I had to just sharpen up and get my wits about myself and my self value. And start doing my music videos and I just dropped my first EP last summer. So
Hmm.
like I'm just getting the push to come out to the world and show the world who I am. A lot of people, one, I know because of the caliber of writing I have, they don't collab with me. And it's not to say that you're going to outshine somebody, but some people don't want to be outheard.
Yeah.
And I don't have a quiet voice on the track.
Yeah.
So I know that that's also put me in a lack of creative space with many. Um, so you don't really get to collab with other people, but people know you got the studio.
Hmm.
And then because they know that you got the push and the pull, they see you as competition. So like I could go off scene for 3 years, pop up on a radio station. I could go off scene for 3 years, pop up on tour. I still got connections and relationships to do that. The average artist inside of the city, even though I don't have the numbers that he has on IG, I have the network of people to
Yeah.
get to where he wants to go.
Which you
But
created organically.
organically by taking these trips and going to
Hmm.
go see these people. Like
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
document it. I'm not just talking to these people. I document that I'm there at these places. I'm going in fucking places people don't go, like Vermont, fucking Rhode Island. I'm up in foothills dealing with artists that people don't get to get in contact with. I'm in Buffalo, New York, Syracuse, shit
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
So when you're doing the backpacking, you come in contact with those that the other people aren't going to see because they won't leave the city. So
Hmm.
it makes it a little easier for me to bop around and set up a tour. Um, but even with that, we're living in a social media ran industry, bro.
Yeah.
So the numbers is what matters. It
Hmm.
don't matter if you don't drop two songs on your distro kit, song tools. It don't matter if you never publish one song. If you have more than 50,000 followers, you're worth listening to.
Right. 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 That's true. That
But
is true.
real talk comes with a niche
Yeah.
crowd.
Yeah.
So like I'll get lost in the times right now because of the direction and the wave of traffic and where traffic is concentrated at is on a social media platform. And that's one thing that I avoid because I still
But
believe in
I think that we also still need to embrace it, and that's why. And I'm
right,
grateful for you to have had or to be able to have a sit down with myself. You know what I'm
right.
saying to you because and I like I said, I'm grateful that it's me. You know what and I have you and I have that relationship and connection. Like the reason why you receive like a myriad of people that good morning text you good. I'm just checking on you is because it means something to me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? It means something to me. And there are only, a few people in life that have changed the trajectory of my life in that way that you want to make sure that they're good. You want to make sure that they
Yeah,
matter. Like I told you, the story that we talked about earlier, that changed everything. That built a level of confidence for me that sometimes you don't get from the people that are supposed to raise you or the people who did. And no shade to them, but I'm just saying in general, like you get that from your found
yeah,
community and your found family. And so
yeah.
I'm grateful. I was grateful for that. And that's why I always pour back without the level of looking for reciprocity. You know what I'm saying? The
That's right.
reciprocity is nice, but let's be clear, it is nice. Sometimes I gotta demand my shit, but
Yeah, yeah.
but for the most part, it's really great to be like, yo, niggas be like, yo, thank you. You just don't know how much I needed that this morning, or this, that, and third. And sometimes I just lead from the spirit. I lead from like what God is telling me in that moment. Like, yo, this person needs to say this. Just say it. You know what I mean? And I could be right, I could be wrong, but I just do it. I just you just do what you're told.
Bro, you are obedient, and that's why you are blessed. I know some mornings I wake up and I have no idea what's what. I know that I'll get sent a text message from my lady about the day's scripture. She'll give me some inspiration for the morning. But I'll look over when I'm at my desk and I'll be like, oh, this boy Troy, here you go again. Good morning. I'm like, this guy, he he's tapping in out into a bubble that a lot of people don't take the time to tap into, and it costs nothing.
Mm-hmm.
And I appreciate it. It's
Oh,
highly appreciated. Because half the times when you asking me, I gotta ask myself, how are you doing, nigga? Like, I gotta think
and I
about
want people to
it.
understand it's a general situation. Like I don't ask how you doing and just be like, oh fuck it, I'm just leaving it there. No, it I usually will if I when I have that moment, I'll be like, yo, it's all good. Don't worry about it. You know, we got it. Or, and we'll move into to different things if I need to. But if I'm like, yo, if it just is what it is for the moment, we good. You know, we good. And I want you to to always feel that there's a love, there's somebody else out here that represents you. If it's no longer in the artistry, but it's in just me being consistent and doing what I do because FNR is a part of where I've started from. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It is a part of it. I've been in the booth when it's hot as shit. You know what I'm
Motherfucker,
saying to
right.
you?
Motherfucker, right.
I've been in there when I'm told to do it over again, or I'm messing up on a word, or I'm feeling feeling any kind
Uh-huh.
of way. And I've been blessed between you and other producers and engineers that I've worked with that I've gotten the chance to get into those studios and being in those labs with that because as much as my footprint may not be as elephantitis like like the rest of y'all, my footprint is there. It is very much so there, and this is part of what leads my legacy, which leads me to one of my final questions. If you could describe your sound as a meal cooked from a Baltimore kitchen, what would y'all have on that plate?
Cook from a Baltimore kitchen. Mm, a Baltimore kitchen. A meal cooked from a Baltimore kitchen. Oh shit, man. I got collard greens with some smoked turkey in it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, yeah. I got
Don't
some
need a
collard
pork.
greens. Got some collard greens with some smoked turkey in it. I got some. I got some motherfucking sweet potatoes, bro. And then on top of that, just because I'm a little fancy and I come from a greater background, I probably have some grilled asparagus on the plate just because, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Just
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
because.
Because
And I
we on a new level. We on a new
yeah,
level with
yeah,
our
yeah,
journey.
just yeah, just
As
because.
you can see, my body's changing.
And I gotta have my salmon with just a hint of Old Bay for the
Yeah,
city. Just a
yeah,
hint, not a lot.
yeah,
I don't like the flavor, but just a hint.
yeah.
But the salmon has to be grilled, not greasy, because I'm
Mm-hmm.
a clean I'm a clean cut. And
Mm-hmm.
and I need that thing set on a bed of lemons because the world can be sour.
Yeah.
But I'm an easy peel off. So as long as it's cooked on a bed of lemons and I got my asparagus, I'll take the
Mm-hmm.
collard greens along with the asparagus because the smoked meat, that everything come with smoke in my city. So I need that.
Yeah.
But yeah, the smoked turkey next, the grilled asparagus with a little bit of lemon on it, the grilled salmon. I'm closing my eyes thinking about this shit. Now I'm
I tell you.
savoring some
I tell
food
you.
now, and my
Right.
salvations
And, and
glands are just getting crazy right now. Like
and
this
you
is
know what
bad.
would top that bitch off to? Low key, a little jollof rice. A little jollof rice. Like I don't care who makes it, whether it's Guyanese or it's Nigerian. Jollof rice is good. Now there's going to be a debate about that in the comments. I get that, but
Yeah,
I love jollof rice.
yeah,
So
yeah.
so before we close out, um, where do you see yourself in the next 5 years alone?
I see myself creating more clothing, still putting out music. I think in the
Oh, right,
next
the Arm
five,
and Hammer. I forgot about that.
man, we done stopped on Arm& Hammer. We done picked up on Lo Sogno, which is
Mm-hmm.
Italian for I am,
Mm-hmm.
with Italian influence being from my grandfather. My family comes from Messina, Sicily, on my
Mm-hmm.
grandfather's side, so I had to incorporate some of that. But right now, I push that clothing line. I am still doing some more of the music, but I think within the next 5 years, hopefully, we'll be tapped in and have a club space and have a place where people have a consistent spot to perform at in the city.
Yeah.
Um, so probably being more enthralled in the community culture,
Mm-hmm.
as far as hip hop goes in the
Yeah.
next 5 years, and
That's right.
hopefully
Manifest
having
it
a
out. Manifest
yeah,
it out.
yeah, and hopefully having a way where we can not only have a lucrative situation, but have a building situation, for the next generation of artists to come up in. That's going to keep us not only relevant, but help keep the culture alive in our
That's
city.
it. Yeah. Yeah.
That's what I look forward to, ladies and gentlemen. Me and Troy will be starting something. We'll be starting
This is it.
something.
We
And
gonna
the
talk
next time,
offline. We gonna talk
yeah,
offline in a second because we got some. I got some shit to tell you anyway. Once I stop this, like we got some. It's it. I'm in a new world order in my body. If that makes sense.
hmm
Like I got some shit to tell you. But yo, that has been the dude G Hood in the building. I'm so fucking
you
excited.
know it
One of the best interviews, of course. I love always sitting down and chatting with you as always.
for sure.
So I'm gonna need my people to stay tuned because there's gonna be more to come. Of course, y'all already know what it is in G Hood. You know what I'm saying, tell the people where they can find you.
Oh man, listen, I'm in your living room, psych. Um,
Made it.
Insta G Hood 410. If y'all need me, y'all can always find me on the YouTube, of course. I'm G Hood 794 on there, but you can follow any of my music. It's G dot Hood, not G dash Hood, G dot Hood. But other than that, I'm around, y'all. I'll be here and I'll be around staring at the culture, watching the culture, observing to see where I can input myself, insert myself, because you can't get rid of my black ass. And I love
Word.
y'all. I hope everybody goes with peace, stay with peace, and build and be prosperous. For
All right,
sure.
y'all. Absolutely. So yeah, y'all stay tuned and we'll be right back. All right, peace.
Yeah.
Alright, y'all. That's it. We done. We out of here. Hope y'all had a good time. Hope y'all enjoyed yourselves. We on to the next. So make sure you like, make sure you comment, make sure you subscribe. Cause y'all already know what it is. We is outside. And that's on period. Yo, thanks so much for all the laughs. But that's all, folks. That's all she wrote. And until next time, y'all already know what I'm gonna do, what I'm gonna say. Peace.